What's up, beautiful? It's Lisa Roulette, and today we are talking about energetic boundaries, a necessary component of living as a starseed, empath, and lightworker. Not sure if you're a starseed, empath, or lightworker. Chances are pretty good if you've come across this channel, you subscribe to this channel, or you like this content. If you don't already know who I am, I'm here to help you heal, navigate your ascension journey, and create a life you love. If you're in the midst of a spiritual awakening, on the healing path, or you're learning how to manifest your life experiences, you've come to the right place. We're going to talk about the long overdue subject of energetic boundaries. Now, there is another video on this channel talking about what types of energetic boundaries exist. You can go and watch that video after you watch this one, but creating energetic boundaries intentionally is going to save you from so much heartache, heartbreak, and a lot of other things, including manipulation. You know, as starseeds, empaths, and lightworkers, we tend to be magnets for narcissists who loosh our energy or feed off our light. And we have to be prepared to have boundaries in place so that we can prevent them from doing that. And keep in mind that Ascension, or spiritual awakening, is about the expansion of consciousness. What is consciousness? Consciousness is energy. Energy is conscious. Energy and consciousness create. So in our auric field, or what we call our light body, is frequency. And that frequency is magnetic, meaning it draws toward us our life experiences. Now, for an in-depth explanation of how consciousness, spiritual awakening, and energy relate to one another, just go to the channel trailer. I'll link it in the description of the video below. But that's a really good video for you to become familiar with who you are energetically and what you're doing during this awakening on the Ascension path. As you become more familiar with yourself as energy, as a light body, as consciousness creating itself or creating the experience inside of the larger co-created reality, you start to realize how very precious your energy is. And this is one of the reasons we want to be able to draw boundaries, because we do work so hard to keep our vibration high and to protect the traumas and dramas in our field so that we can heal them, not to be able to hold onto them, but to be able to understand them and to ultimately move them out of the auric field. So it's really not good for us when other energies come in, because they can lower our vibration, but we will also unintentionally assimilate to vibrations that come into our field. So this can become very messy, very disorganized, and very painful, especially for my starseed, empath, and lightworking family. So let's talk about 3 ways that you can create energetic boundaries. The first way is simply through visualization. And I think this is more of the underrated of the 3, but it is one of the most powerful. I use visualization, visualizing boundaries, every morning and every evening. Now, I do it in the morning because I know that I'm going to be interacting with frequency all day. Even if I don't leave my house, I'm still going to be on social media, reading people's comments, looking at other social media, talking on the telephone, interacting with my family members who may have picked up some icky frequencies out and about in their day. So I do a visualization in the morning, and then I also do it again in the evening, because when we go to bed at night, we inevitably meet the astral plane. We inevitably become open to a lot of frequency and a lot of energy. So I am very diligent in creating boundaries both in the morning and in the evening. And somewhere in between, I usually do sort of a energetic sweep, or what I call an auric sweep. I get a lot out of my field that I have absorbed from the day. But creating these boundaries makes you very resilient. And remember, consciousness creates. So as you're visualizing, you are actually setting into motion the energetic components of the boundary. And this is why I like the shield the shield boundary more than I like calling in angels and guides, more than I like grounding techniques, at least for creating boundaries, because then I am familiar with it and I can sense it around me. If I go to the grocery store, if I'm talking to someone on the phone, wherever I am, I can sense that boundary around me and I can call it in when I need it most. Now, the second way is pretty standard and common, particularly in Western therapy, and that is to simply learn how to say no. It is one of the hardest things for starseeds, empaths, and light workers to say no, because we're here to do light work. We are here to serve, but we cannot serve other people until we serve ourselves. And part of serving ourselves is protecting our vibration. Remember, a lot of us still have a lot of trauma and drama trapped in the auric field. And that is enough to hold when it is ours. And of course, this trauma and drama could come from this lifetime or past lifetimes or both. And that is a lot to hold. So if we're going to take on other people's energy and that energy comes in with their traumas and dramas, that becomes very problematic. And that becomes a very big load that we have to carry. If we're not careful, we will carry it indefinitely. So again, these boundaries are going to help you a lot. When people come to you and are asking you of things, especially if you're associated with people who take advantage of you or who manipulate you or who are narcissists, you want to learn how to say a big fat no, I'm sorry, not now, not today. And finally, the third technique, which is actually not vastly known, is to understand your wants and your needs. And that's a big deal. You know, again, since we are oftentimes in service and actively in service, and we forget that we're in service, so we just sort of like flounder about like, who needs my light? Who needs my light, right? And you're like, okay, here I am. But sometimes we forget that we have needs. We have needs. And because we incarnated into this experience to be of service, we're not trained to recognize our needs, but we absolutely, hands down, 100% have needs. And those needs are the things that we need to keep our vibration high. Remember, our vibration, consciousness, energy, all the same thing. When our vibration is high, we build our light body and our auric field gets stronger, and therefore actually our boundaries get stronger. But if we're not expressing what we need, then it becomes problematic. I know me as a mother, I am constantly doing for my children, not because they ask, but I constantly do for my kids. But in turn, then I need rest. And I don't ask people to give me a break or to give me rest. And so that's problematic because I don't spend enough time recognizing my needs, speaking out my needs, and also creating standards where if my needs are not met, I go back to the other boundary setting technique and I have to say, no, not today. So knowing your needs, creating standards around your needs, and learning how to say no along with visualization will help you tremendously. Now, if you want me to go into depth on any of those, particularly the visualization for a shield boundary, as well as a way to create standards, then please let me know in the comments below. That's a wrap for this video, my friends. I hope it helped you. Make sure you like, comment. If you dig it, definitely share it if you think it's going to help someone else. And as always, stay in the luminosity of your beautiful light and never forget you are loved.